Have you ever had a great meal? Talking about really delicious, and you think to yourself, you know what, I should go back for seconds. Well, literally, that's what happened to me as I was reading Joshua chapter 9. There's still something that I left on the table, and I'm coming back to share it with you. And welcome back to this channel. I'm so excited that you're journeying with us, and so glad as we dive deeper into this series as to why it's important to always check in with God first. Now, I know I promised that we'd go in a different direction, but I realized that I left an important detail out of last week's video. So today, if you missed last week's video, you can click on the link above and you can watch a video again. And today we're going to cover that one detail. So here's another reason why you should always check in with God first. Is because checking in with God first can protect you from your past. You didn't know that, did you? Well, let's take a look at it. In Joshua chapter 9, the children of Israel are meeting a group of people, the Hivites. And this is not the first time that they're meeting this group. As a matter of fact, if you go back into Genesis chapter 34, which is in the beginning of the Bible, you will read about a previous encounter where granddaddy Jacob and his 12 sons have an encounter with the whole city. And as a result, a whole city is laid to waste. And now, several hundred years later, this same group of people that got their cities destroyed, they're now meeting the Israelites. And now, instead of the Israelites doing the deceiving, the Hivites are doing the deceiving. So as you can see, if you're like me and you've lived long enough, you're going to come across situations where they're familiar situations. Maybe you've met this person before. Maybe you've been in this situation before. And you're thinking to yourself, I know how to handle this situation. But I'm going to encourage you to pause for a moment and check in with God. Because the last time you met that situation or that relationship, you may not have handled it with the most class. And before you go any further, you needed to check in with God and make sure that this time around, this situation will work out for everyone's good. So, once again, today's reminder simply checking in with God can also protect you from your own past. It is my prayer that today, as you go about doing your various activities, whatever situation you go into, you pause and you check in with God and you make sure that whatever you do is submitting to His will and in accordance to His will, so that it's a blessing to everyone involved. Now, next week, as I promised, we're going to look at the third installment of why it's important to check in with God. And the question we're going to tackle is simply, what happens if you didn't check in with God first? Is it too late? Stay tuned. Come back next week. We'll cover that topic. We'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching this video. Click a like, subscribe, share it with a friend, and I will see you next week. Another one. This time, let me start over.